we are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid
I'm
hot.
fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
What up, dope people? Thank you guys for choosing to kick off the day with Wake Up Woodward. Chat family, as always, you all are the most important part of the WUW Crew. So let's go ahead and run up those likes on a Thursday. One more day until opening day in Detroit. And we got our guy Flannel Sam back. Hey, I'm so glad that you spent some time in the time chamber. He even got a little cleaned up.
I was about to
White
say.
Claw flannel's about to be a vibe.
Hey, Phil and Mike G, do you like my face now? Is this good for you? Is this good for you? Obviously, I didn't do it for you guys. I don't really give a damn. But at the end of the day, sometimes you gotta clean it up just a
Phil
tad.
and Mike G day, and it came back to the show for you guys. You see what Flannel does? Let's get some super chats up. Let's get those likes up, man. Look.
And
Hey,
yeah, just one more
tell the
thing
people.
I wanted to mention before we got going. I posted this on my X account. If any of you guys want to make a mock draft or go to the PFF mock draft simulator or whatever format you want to use, send them into my email at samr@woodwardsports.com. JB, if you want to pin that would be fantastic. I would appreciate that. Send them in. If you get them in before 8:30-ish, we will probably be able to feature them at the end of the show. A couple of you have already sent yours in, and they are ready to go. And you guys are going to be on the stand, and we can grade you.
Flannel wants to see all your mocks. Get
All
them
the
in.
mocks.
All of them, man. Hey, look, it's your boy Brandon, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Flannel Sam, the vet of the squad, the vet of the network, Red Wings correspondent, all sports knower. Welcome back, brother. And we got some news, man, as we get around the city.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We got some news, but today, I will just say this. No Tigers today. Because tomorrow, we are going wall-to-wall Tigers. The whole show is going to be Tigers. I know that there's a lot to talk about. I know that a lot of you are... We're all a little upset with yesterday's loss because it felt like it should have been a win. It felt like it should have been a sweep. But at the end of the day, Tigers take center stage tomorrow. We will go over pretty much everything we could possibly go over with how they started the season, previewing the White Sox series. But today, for the most part, draft takes center stage because you know the draft is 3 weeks from today. There's been so much going on throughout Detroit sports, like the Pistons being a playoff team and Michigan and Michigan State both making the Sweet 16, State making the Elite 8. The Red Wings were contenders for a while, now they've fallen off, but the draft, it's still El Capitano when it comes to April in the D.
Yeah, and you know what, man? Something that's been very, very El Capitano as it relates to Detroit is one Detroit news, Rod Beard. I don't know if people have heard the news yet. It's something that we kind of shared amongst ourselves before, it went super public, man. But did get a call from Rod Beard last week and kind of tipped this news off. And it was awesome because he said, you know what, playoffs is here. And I know the one thing we're going to do, we're going to see this ride all the way through. But Rod Beard, sports editor-in-chief at the Detroit News, accepted a job as a senior sports editor at the AJC Sports in Atlanta. And he's ecstatic, man. He's going to be able to have an opportunity to really help a whole new market of really media professionals as well as advance his own career. And just when you look at all the comments, all of the replies, all of the people who went to say, you know what, congratulations, Rod. You're seeing a lot of people that say, thank you for what you've done in my career. Thank you for what you've done in my life. Thank you for the individual that you've been. Thank you for the person that you've been. So you guys might know that here at Woodward Sports, Rod Beard has contributed to all of the different shows at some point in time. But he also helped with my own career as a now credentialed Pistons beat reporter for the network. and started the Woodward Pistons platform with me, which has seen a lot of different guests and a lot of different people on there, including our brother Jeff Iafredi, who we really did a lot to try and build that platform, but we knew Rod Beard was the guy who was really pulling a lot of weight, but he was giving us a platform and a stage when he didn't really have to. Woodward Sports was unknown. Largely our coverage in the Pistons world, really unknown. And Rod Beard decided, you know what, I see something here, and decided to form a brotherhood with us. And from that point, the platform continued to develop. And over the last year, we've brought that to Wake Up Woodward. And let me be more appropriate. Even before Wake Up Woodward, Flannel Sam, Jeff Iafredi, Adam Baydoun, they all had Rod Beard on the platform, as well as had Woodward Pistons represented on the Morning Woodward Show platform. So, you know, it's been awesome that Rod has given us this time, and I'm looking forward to what he's going to be in the journey ahead. But I'm ecstatic that we at least get this playoff run together, because neither he or I, you know, obviously to this point, he covered the Pistons for 7 years, got to see something as hopeful as this. So.
Yep, shout out to Rod Beard. We all of you know how awesome he's been on this show, and I've obviously loved working with him. He's had many, many days where the most memorable soundbite from the show has been Rod Beard. Great at what he does, great on air. Happy for him. Atlanta's got a gem. I'll just say that. They're getting a gem.
No, they have a gem. They have a gem. And just before we move on to the Pistons, anybody else want to say anything about one Mr. Rod Beard? I know I got our voice of reason. You're going to have to definitely say something, man.
Rod to, you know, take on this new adventure, everything like that. Shout out to everyone in the chat tuning in with us as well, too. I'm happy for Rod. Obviously, you know, he's going to try to tap in with us as much as he can here at Wake Up Woodward, but we appreciate his time just coming on here, just, you know, whenever he can, instilling upon us some wisdom that we might not know from time to time. So just shout out to you, Rod. You know, I know you're going to do great, so there's no worries there, but enjoy yourself and enjoy your time, man.
No, big shout out to Rod. You know, he's a friend of the network. He's embraced, you know, people like me, just coming on to the Woodward Sports platform and, you know, just being a part of Woodward Pistons. So big shout out to him. He's going to do big things in Atlanta. And yeah, just looking forward to him and his success. So shout out to Rod, man. Much love.
Hey. Just don't become a Hawks fan. That's all I say.
Hey, he's looking forward to it though, man. He's going to be covering, you know, obviously all sports down there for Atlanta and dabbling in a little bit of the college as well. So I think this is really, really good for him. I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how he has an effect on the rest of the media down there, because the one thing I know is everywhere Rod goes, you hear the same thing, that he's effectively just a person who's helping just because it's something good to do. So once again, shout out to you, Rod Beard. Thank you for everything that you've done for us personally. And I'm grateful, man. I think that overall, Woodward Sports' Pistons coverage is better for it. He's helped our relationship overall with the Detroit Pistons as well. And just my first day getting my credential, Rod literally was standing there in the Google entrance at LCA waiting for me. And it was just like, this is dope, man. Gave my kids several pep talks, several different pictures, taps in and just texts every now and then. I know he's going to give us his time. He's going to get in studio before he gets down to Atlanta, and we're also going to do something at the arena at some point in time before the season ends. So I'm so grateful, Rod. Just, yeah, I don't want to belabor it, but I'm definitely grateful for everything that you've given us here at Woodward Sports, Woodward Pistons, and Wake Up Woodward. So.
Hey, absolutely. You know what? Let's take a break and then come back and talk Pistons. They unfortunately took a loss. The shorthanded Pistons, to say the least, took a loss at the Oklahoma City Thunder last night. But first, tell us about Buddy's Pizza.
Hey, I will. Buddy's Pizza, it's another Detroit legend. That one isn't going anywhere. We were able to keep that one in the state of Michigan because I see DNC. He's like, yo, how the city let the legend leave? You know what? Word on the street is he got the bag.
Right, money talk.
Buddy's Pizza's been, and he's deserving. Buddy's Pizza has been serving the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946. 79 years later, they have 22 locations in the state of Michigan, and fans can still visit where it all began on the corner of 6 Mile and Conant. Sign up for Buddy's Rewards to earn points on every purchase and receive exclusive promotions. Download the Buddy's Pizza mobile app and start earning today. Add some Detroit style to your next meal. Save 10% off your entire order using promo code 10MEAL. That's the number 10. So that's 10MEAL. Buddy'sPizza.com.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Listen, I'm not sure who, but somebody let the Tigers get hot.
The Detroit Tigers are locked and loaded for another great summer in Detroit. And it all starts downtown at the biggest home opener party in the city. Join Woodward Sports at Grand Slam Festival as we take over the Detroit Opera House parking lot. A big-ass tent for a big-ass Detroit party. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFestival.com or follow Woodward Sports on X and IG for your chance to get in for free. Party across from Comerica Park and hear the roar as the Tigers take the field for the first time in 2025. DJs, food trucks, bartenders, live broadcasts, and more. See you for the Tigers' first home game of the season, April 4th at the Grand Slam Festival with Detroit's biggest party animals, Woodward Sports. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, it's Planet Fitness, fitness that fits your budget. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the Black Card Spa featuring hydro massage, massage chairs, and total body enhancement, and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. I see we already got some like a super chat in there, huh?
Yeah, we got a few super chats actually, so we can shout these out real quick before we hop into our next topic right now. Thank you everybody for sending in those super chats as well too. 199 from Dante151. Can we send the Red Wings to hell now, please?
Hey, tune in. Me and Justin are recording an episode of Woodward Wings today. Maybe we will discuss that too, because I don't disagree with you there, Dante.
I don't disagree with you either, Dante. And also another $5 from Nobody. He said, Kool-Aid looks like he's about to drop a diss with that beanie on. Go Stones, go Tigs, go Lions. Also, I called into work and I ain't sick. WUW Crew. Hey,
let's go.
You're not sick, but you called in?
Let's go.
Yeah,
hey, Nobody, do you have any passes for opening day? Let me know.
Let us know.
If you need some for the party, man, you can get down with the WUW Crew. And yeah, I do got the beanie on. You know why? It's because the Pistons, you want to see them win. I don't care what the obstacle is that you're facing. You always want to see your team win. Yeah. Even if it's illogical to think that they're going to win, you still want to see them win, especially in a game against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. A couple weeks ago, this was one where you were looking at this game being flexed to prime time, thinking we're going to have Cade versus Shea. And then we wind up not having a whole lot of players, like no Cade, no Ron Holland, no Isaiah Stewart, and
Marcus Sasser.
And no Marcus Sasser. And what you saw this team do really was fight. And why I got the beanie on, it's for that Dennis Schroeder energy. I don't know if you guys heard the leaked audio from the game prior against the Timberwolves when everything spilled over, and Duran was getting all like pissed and wanted to go back into the crowd. And Schroeder's telling like, nah, bro, no. Nah, bro, that's like a $200,000 fine. We can catch him after. You want to get him after? I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, oh, you're right.
Let's go. Then the second game,
down the ride.
Then the second game, him and Shea are getting into it. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Dennis Schroeder got me fired up. I know that the Pistons took the loss 119-103. They were missing quadruple players, including their star, but I thought that they still battled.
Yeah, and the Thunder weren't missing anybody.
Nobody.
Nobody whatsoever. And when you look at the Pistons, obviously Malik Beasley didn't shoot it well. Neither did Dennis Schroeder. Both of them kind of shot the Pistons out of the game. Let's just call a spade a spade. Duran didn't have his best offensive game as well, only 30% from the floor, which for a guy his size, for somebody who usually shoots damn near 70%, that certainly is not good enough, especially even if he does get a double-double. But one thing that I took away from that game, and it's something that I probably should have been on a little bit sooner, but to be honest, when it comes to teams that I follow besides the Pistons in the NBA, the Thunder aren't that high on my list. I usually lean more towards East teams like the Celtics, Cavs, Bucks, Pacers for obvious reasons, even the Lakers in the West. But the OKC Thunder, even though they beat up on a depleted Pistons team, I am convinced that I'm going to have to retract my finals prediction. OKC's a wagon. And do you know why they're a wagon? Obviously, SGA is the MVP. No question about it, in my opinion. Chet Holmgren's back. Jalen Williams is a 20-point-per-game guy. But do you know what OKC does that really sets them apart?
Talk to me.
They're the best defensive team in the NBA.
There you go.
They just are. Did you guys know
there you go.
that SGA leads the entire bleeping NBA in defensive win shares? That's insane. And Isaiah Hartenstein leads the entire bleeping NBA in defensive rating, by far, by the way.
I see why he was on the Pistons' radar this offseason. I really do now.
Isaiah Hartenstein's been unbelievable. He's averaging like 12 and 11 and 4 assists while being one of the best defensive players in the NBA. Chet Holmgren has 2.4 blocks per game. Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, they get after you. So the Oklahoma City Thunder, I'm more convinced than ever that they're going to be the team representing the West. Actually, I'm newly convinced that they will be the team representing the West in the NBA Finals. And honestly, with the Pistons having all of the players lost that they had lost, they had no chance last night. I'm not mad at them. If you should be mad at anybody or a little disappointed, this is one of the unfortunate after effects of the brawl, which was really, or the brawl. I'll say the brawl. It wasn't that bad, but many players got suspended. This is something that obviously can't happen in the playoffs. Wasn't necessarily mad at them at the time. I thought that Naz Reid and Dante DiVincenzo started it. Naz Reid didn't need to get so butthurt over a common foul, by the way, but still, come home this offseason. But why I said all that is that the Pistons, with how they were depleted, with how good the Oklahoma City Thunder are, the Pistons had no chance, and they actually fought pretty hard, at least throughout the first half.
Yeah, they definitely did, and that's what you really want to see when you kind of look at the box score. Even everybody pretty much did their job, and when you get a Cade Cunningham back, when you get your dogs back in the system, like Ron Holland, like Isaiah Stewart, like a Marcus Sasser, then you know that this team is going to be going on without a hitch. I don't think that they're going to have any issues with their chemistry. That's something I believe this team has had with Cade or without Cade. They've won some games. They have fought. The half-court offense has looked really decent. And that's what you need when you talk about going into the postseason. Got to record with the legend Terry Foster, and his take on it is when you get to the postseason, we all know that things tighten up a lot. Basketball goes from more transitional to more half court, where you're getting really your transition opportunities out of what you're doing defensively to lock up. And that's where I do believe the Pistons, who've been one of your best net rating teams since the trade deadline, one of your best net rating teams since January 1st, one of your best really defensive teams since December 1st, That's where I do believe that this Detroit Pistons team, what you're seeing them go through right now, they're being really prepped and given experience before they actually get their playoff experience. And I do think that they're going to be better for it. The role players that are able to get extended minutes right now as you're getting ramped up, and you're seeing that as the usage goes up, these players are able to handle the output and the production, and they battled decently against a fully loaded OKC Thunder team.
Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, he's a guy who stepped up big when Cade's out. We saw the game that he had against Cleveland. We saw the game that he had last night. Tobias was back, and I thought that he played well. I thought Sasser played well enough. It's not, with all due respect to these guys, it's not a recipe for going into Oklahoma City and beating the Thunder when Lindy Waters and Paul Reed have to have that high of usage. Yeah. No disrespect to them. It's just that the Pistons just didn't have the horses, and the Thunder are a dominant team. They just are. They are getting healthier with a Chet Holmgren, of course, and they just suffocate you on defense, and they're a great offensive team as well. I understand that there's still questions about SGA. Is he going to continue at this level in the playoffs? Is he that type that's going to be a number one on a team that's going to win the championship? We'll see about that. I suspect that he can be, but he's got to show it first. But the Oklahoma City Thunder, it's clear to me now that they're the best team in basketball. I mean, obviously it is by record-wise, but me watching them against the Pistons, it's like, damn. They're just,
and then Shea against Nikola Jokic and Denver Nuggets. That was a statement game for him. And then when you look at the fact that he's carried this team through a lot of ups and downs, they've had a lot of different lineups because they've been dealing with a whole bunch of injuries. He's been really the consistent factor for them all season long, and that to me is what leads me to believe that they are going to be the eventual NBA champs. It's difficult though to count out Jokic because he's been putting up bananas numbers lately.
Yeah,
and he has that team going. But when you look at the fully loaded Oklahoma City Thunder, that team has a lot of weapons on it. And when you talk about the type of gravity that he attracts, it just opens up everything for that team on offensive end. And then defensively, you're right. I remember the first game against OKC. Hartenstein he had such a big impact. I know that a lot of people, they go away with the aspect and the memory of free throw merchant, SGA, and what he was doing just from an ISO standpoint was some of the best ISO basketball that you're going to see, period. SGA is a hooper, man. No matter what you want to say about the free throw shooting. Sure. And he put on a clinic as it relates to ISO ball. But when you looked at the defensive side of things in that game, Hartenstein was doing his thing, man. And he was stifling a lot of their attempts at the rim and a lot of things they like to do. Even Cade Cunningham getting to the rim. And the way that the refs were allowing the physicality against the Pistons, which got JB Bickerstaff so hot in that game, it just meshed and blended well for a player like Hartenstein. He had a big impact in that game. And you're right, the defense is why they ultimately was able to kind of stifle and slow down the rhythm and the chemistry and the cohesion of the Pistons.
Yeah, especially in the second half. What did the Pistons have? 44 second half points. Obviously, that's not going to get it done in a game as such. And I see it's always fun to relate it to the entire NBA. I see, of course, Dante151 in the chat. Did Flannel casually forget that Jokic dropped a 61-point triple-double? Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what.
Gross.
If that was LeBron, you'd say empty stats. I'm just saying. Whenever Josh Allen would put up monster numbers against the Chiefs in the playoffs and they would lose, it's like, oh, Josh Allen's a bum. I'm obviously kidding, by the way. I don't think that about Nikola Jokic. He's obviously great. The key to them, honestly, is Jamal Murray going to turn into playoff Jamal Murray? Because he has, obviously he hasn't made an all-star team. He's never quite become the regular season player that a lot of us think that he would be. But come playoff time, during that bubble run that the Nuggets had, Jamal Murray was actually the best player. And then in that championship run that the Nuggets had as well, Jamal Murray, that series that he had against the Lakers turned into basically prime Steph Curry. That's the key to the Nuggets. If Nikola Jokic can get the adequate help from a Jamal Murray, if he can be the actual second star, and of course Michael Porter Jr. as well, et cetera, et cetera. But it's going to be fun. I just think that OKC definitely has the best overall team, and they're deep as well. You've even got guys like Isaiah Joe who are studs.
Yeah, and that to me is where it's at as well. It's about the the supporting cast, because you already know that Jokic and SGA, they're going to definitely punch the time clock. They're going to work, for lack of a better phrase. But when you look at what OKC has from top to bottom, there was one play last night where Chet Holmgren went full length of the court, and he just looked like a guard, man. Like, he had the composure, he had the speed, he had the little kind of in and out and cross back over from right to left as he's crossing half court, got all the way to the rack and got fouled. And it was just like, that's just unfair. That is unfair. So when you're talking about piecing everything together that they have, Williams as well, that OKC Thunder team, it's formidable. And the reason why I do like it, though, is because I do believe the Pistons have kind of the same makeup of them. But obviously OKC has been percolating for some time, and now you see what you get out of a team that's been allowed to kind of gel, been allowed to get this cohesion, and really making defense a priority no matter how much attention is on the star SGA. The Pistons, you look at them right now being one of your top net rating teams offensively and defensively. They got that makeup, and it gives me a lot of hope for their future.
And the good news is, when it comes to the Detroit Pistons, is obviously the suspensions are, I think Stu has to serve one more game, but Ron Holland should be back, Marcus Sasser should be back. We all know that Cade Cunningham, if these were more higher leverage games, that he would be playing. They're just trying to make sure that he is 100% for the playoffs. And the Pistons, they won't be seeing OKC unless they do the unthinkable miracle and actually make it to the NBA Finals. So the better gauge is, how are they going to play if they have to face New York, Milwaukee, Indiana? They're definitely going to have to play one of those three teams. And I think if they're fully healthy, that they've got a very good shot to win a playoff
Can I ask
series.
you a question?
What's that?
Which team, which matchup to you do you probably fear? I don't know if that's the right word. More, if it just so happened, the Bucks and Pistons, or the Cavs and Pistons.
Oh, Cavs, of course.
Cavs?
Oh, yeah, no question.
By far?
No Dame.
Man.
Like, no, if there's no Dame, for sure.
No, a healthy Bucks, because Dame is talking about getting back for the playoffs.
Okay, all right.
Which I don't know how they're talking about
yeah.
accelerating this after Sasser had to sit so long, but they're talking about he has a chance to be actually healthy.
I would still say that the Cavs, just because I understand that Giannis is the best player, and Dame, we all know what he can do and what he's done at times during his playoff career. But I look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I just think they're deeper at the top, obviously, with guys like Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland. And also, they've got, when you really look at it, when we were talking about going back to an old conversation that we were having, do the Pistons have the best bench in the NBA or in the East? I think it's Cleveland, especially when they added DeAndre Hunter. They got like Sam Merrill, for example, guys like Dean Wade. I mean, obviously not superstars or anything, but fine bench players. And DeAndre Hunter, he's a guy that is a sixth man of the year caliber player, and we've seen him do damage in the playoffs before. So Cleveland, I just think they're a better overall team. Milwaukee, even with Dame Lillard, they're on the way down. They've obviously don't have Middleton anymore. We don't know what Kyle Kuzma is going to bring them. Bobby Portis will be back, which is going to help. But I would still say that Cleveland is the tougher matchup.
It's interesting to think, especially given the how the season has gone. The Pistons have played the Cavs relatively tough now, not just this season, but for a couple seasons in a row, even when they've been bad. But then you get this kind of effect with Giannis. And the reason why I asked that is just, not that anybody expects the Pistons to go on a run and do the unthinkable, but it does get interesting to think about the fact that I believe this Pistons team can really cause a lot of heck for any of these teams in the Eastern Conference.
Oh, yeah.
Including the Cavaliers. I believe that they would play them tough, probably get them to 6 games if the unthinkable happened and they wound up matching up with them. Because I'm not going to be surprised if the Pistons make it to the second round of the NBA playoffs. I'm not.
Absolutely not. And one guy that I missed for Cleveland on their bench, Ty Jerome, has been balling for them. Yeah. He has been. If he got a little bit more usage, he would be a guy who you talked about as a potential 6th man of the year candidate. But of course, he doesn't measure up to Beasley and Pritchard and his own teammate DeAndre Hunter. But Ty Jerome, he's one of those guys that you win with. A role player, people that I should hate, right? But obviously I don't. Well, I hate anyone that's on the Cavs because they're the enemy right now.
Hey, let's get to this next break because I know we got a TLB. What up, though?
talk, Lions, bitch.
Hey,
word
we have
to our
got
brother
a
Matthew, brother.
plethora of mock drafts to bring you. I made one, Kool-Aid made one, Chase made one, and I got another entry in my email for the chat. Now I believe we have 3 of them. I think the cutoff is right now because loading them in is not easy to do on the fly in the show. But if you got yours in up to right now, we will feature your guys' at the end of the show. But tell us about merch, JB.
Oh, definitely. Let me tell you about some merch. But first, shout out everyone sending in super chats as well, too. $2 from Burn. He said, I believe that fight will be called the Tussle at Target. It has a nice little ring
Target
to it.
Center.
Has a nice little ring to it. And Charles McClain sending in $2 as well, too. He said, and OKC has a top 6 pick next year in the draft. I can't believe that.
They got to cash one in at some point.
Yeah.
Just with how they've reloaded so well, and obviously they didn't get one with Harden, Durant, and Westbrook, and now they've got such a great team. It would be, I hate to say this, it would almost be a basketball tragedy if they didn't get one with how well that they've built their teams. But like I said, I think that they're going to represent the West, and depending on who they face in the finals, they've got as good a chance as anybody.
Agreed. Well, let me tell you about some merch. Head over to woodwardsports.com. All you got to do is click on that shop tab. We got new designs for you every single week, but we still got the LFG Red Wings t-shirts and hoodies. I know they're disappointing us right now, but you can still support them, and you should. And you can't forget about the Woodward Tigers gear that we got going on right now. Now, if you hit that rush delivery, you might be able to get it by tomorrow morning, so you can rock it down with us at the tent party down at the Detroit Opera House for opening day. Woodward Tigers gear for you. Head over to woodwardsports.com. All you have to do is just click on that shop tab.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball's gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
At Lady Jane's, we take the trot of getting a haircut. Our talented stylist will deliver an industry-leading haircut, a relaxing scalp massage, that hot lather neck shave, my favorite, and a hot towel treatment. I hear you over there, KG.
You just nasty. Just nasty.
7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked. Awesome. Hey, welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. It's time to TLB word to our brother Matthew Broder. Because we got an NFL draft happening this month. April in the D is in full effect. We literally have all the teams active in some way, shape, or form this month. And for those Lions, it's going to be the NFL draft. And so we got to get into mock draft season, and our NFL draft coverage on Wake Up Woodward is going to be brought to you by Feldman Chevrolet of Novi.
Yes, absolutely. And first up on the mock draft list is the one, the only, Flannel Sam.
Flannel, I don't think your mic is on. Huh?
Oh, let's get Flannel's mic on.
Hello.
There we go.
Am I good? All right. So,
My apologies.
start off our draft coverage, we will start with the one, the only, well, me, Flannel Sam. So, JB, throw it on up. All right. At pick 28, to the surprise of no one, I've got the Lions taking James Pierce Jr.
Yes.
And I understand that there's a lot of, talk about potential character issues, but I'm not Brad Holmes. I'm a Flannel Sam, so this is what I would choose. And we've already given a more extensive breakdown of James Pierce Jr. as a prospect, but elite production the last 2 years, 17.5 sacks, 28 TFLs, tackles for loss, 107 pressures, which is insane. A 23% pass rush win rate last year, which is amazing. Anything over 20 is elite. Good run defender, improved run defender, elite tape, as we all saw, elite speed from the outside, 4.47 40 time while being 6'5 and 243. I think he's the type of guy that can actually beat some NFL tackles, just walk right in and do that with his speed alone. He does need to refine his moves a little bit. With the number 60 pick, I've got Michigan edge rusher Josiah Stewart. And I've already done a more extensive breakdown on him. That was the first one that I did back in the day, but just another one of those guys. Great production last 2 seasons, 14 sacks combined, 24 TFLs, 66 pressures. Last season had a 28% pass rush win rate, which is astronomically high. Good run defender, just a very, I think, refined defensive end. His only hang-up is that he's a little bit undersized. He's only 6'1". There's questions about his arm length. I think that if he had the frame of some of the other edge rushers like the Abdul Carters and the James Pierce Jr.'s of the world, Mike Green, I think that Josiah Stewart would be in the first round, which is why I think he's a steal at 60. With the third round pick, 102nd overall, I've got Willie Lampkin. We all know how I feel about Willie Lampkin. Thank you. I understand that he's 5'11", 290. I know that that's not ideal for a guard in any way, shape, or form, but that man was productive. I've already told you. 0 sacks allowed in the last 2 seasons. Lower hit rate allowed than Donovan Jackson, Tyler Booker, and Tate Ratledge, and as a higher graded run defender than all 3 of them as well. If I'm picking somebody in later rounds, I don't need somebody who's necessarily the athletic freak. I need somebody who was productive and just who is smart and as technically sound as any guard in this draft. Give me Willie Lampkin at the number 102nd overall pick. 4th round, 130th, wide receiver from Colorado State, Torrey Horton. He's 6'3", not necessarily a big body. He's a little bit slenderer than you would like, but he's had a couple 1,000-yard seasons. He was hurt for part of last year, so Brad Holmes, I know you're definitely going to get on that.
He has a type.
Absolutely. He can play out wide. He can play in the slot. He's a willing blocker, and he's got, I think, a nice combination of possession. He can get you those first downs, and he can also go deep from time to time. PFF actually compares Torrey Horton to Josh Reynolds, believe it or not, which is very, very interesting. If somebody like Torrey Horton could be a Josh Reynolds type for Detroit, I think he would fit right in. At the 196th pick, round 5, tight end, Caden Prescorn from Ole Miss. And I'll be honest, there's another mock draft later in which I think it's Kool-Aid's in which you pick a tight end at that spot that I probably like better. This is kind of a free roll. Sam Laporta, obviously he's somebody who the Lions would like to keep for a long time. He's only on a contract for 2 more years. Maybe the Lions will have to make a decision about him. Maybe, maybe not. His, I would say, best attributes is he's 6'6", 255, very high contested catch rate, pretty productive, 15 yards per catch in his last 2 seasons at Ole Miss. His biggest hang-up is he's just not that great of an athlete. That's why he falls down to something like this. I think Caden Prescorn, though, his floor is somebody like Brock Wright, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Round 7, pick number 228. I've got the Lions taking safety R.J. Mickens from Clemson. And this is one, and I've been more on alert about this than some. I know I mentioned it on a show way back in the day, maybe a couple weeks ago, that after Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, the safety room, I don't really know who's going to be there. I know that Avonte Maddox is somebody that can be more versatile, but I think R.J. Mickens in round 7, he is an absolute steal. He was really an elite safety last year. 57 passer rating allowed when targeted, which is amazing. A couple of interceptions, a 24% forced incompletion rate, which is way in the higher percentile when it comes to safeties. 75 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, a 4.49 40 time, and the third highest vertical amongst safeties. So he's got good athleticism, and he's got the production. I think that he is actually more like a 4th or a 5th round prospect that would fall to 7. Speaking of steals, this might be my favorite pick of them all, except for, other than the first 2, this might be my favorite pick of them all. Ty Robinson, round 7, 244 from the University of Nebraska. And I actually watched quite a bit of Ty Robinson this year because you all know how I felt about Nebraska and Dylan Raiola. For some reason, I can't put my finger on it. I really liked watching Dylan Raiola. He reminds me of somebody. I just don't know who. But anywho, we all know.
I wonder.
I'm just kind of joking right there. But Ty Robinson is somebody that absolutely flashed off the screen. He made so many big plays for a Nebraska defense, which was actually really damn good. In 2024, he really upped his production from his previous years when he had, I would say, the best team around him. 7 sacks, 13 tackles for loss, just good size, 6'6", 310, 42 pressures, a 10% pass rush win rate, an 8% run stop rate, which are very good for defensive tackles, by the way. But the thing that is intriguing about Ty Robinson, probably even more so than his production, you might as well call Ty Robinson Combine God. Listen to this. Fastest, and this is amongst defensive tackles. Fastest 40 time. 3rd fastest 10-yard splits. 4th highest vertical. Second longest broad jump. 3rd fastest 3-cone. 3rd fastest shuttle. And tied for 2nd on bench press reps. The man's an athletic freak, and he showed out for Nebraska last year. This is my draft. I think if Brad Holmes adheres to all of this, the Lions are an absolute Super Bowl team next year. What say you, fellas?
Hey, you know what? I like it. And obviously, when you guys see my mock draft, the top 3 is heavily influenced by
I was about to say
what the ball knowers have been telling me. No, because I didn't even see your mock draft before I did mine. I was like, all right, I just want to go and check out who the players are that are available, do a little bit of research. And you know what? This is what I definitely love about yours. When you talk about it being top heavy, who doesn't like top heavy things, Final Sam? And that's what you get. Because I want to go edge, and I want more trench work out of realistically those first 3 picks. And when you go and you get a couple players like this, you're taking I don't even think it's taking a chance on Willie Lampkin. Like everything that you broke down about who he is as a player, the aggressiveness, the technique. That's what I really take away from those top 3 players is the elite technique that they utilize to get the job done, including the Josiah Stewart, the ability to stand up and survey and utilize that to be able to take the best angles to get into the backfield. So I like this, man. And you put the thought into the back half of the draft as well. I know we're all going to probably have a particular way that we're looking at that, but I appreciate the way that this kind of shook out.
And remember, Chuck Brewer, because combine numbers translate so much. That's why Sam hates Tom Brady. His combine showing 7th round, Chuck. I'm talking a 7th round flyer. And I also mentioned Ty Robinson's production. So I know a lot of you don't like this draft. I would suspect that if somebody like Neil Rule sent in the exact same draft, you'd give it a B+, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not saying it's perfect. And when it comes to, I see some people say, obviously, whenever I do anything, everybody accuses me of being
Neil Robinson would cut it like Neil Robinson. Neil
Rule would cut it like a promo. Oh,
big facts.
Ty Robinson.
Absolutely. But I know a lot of people, whenever I do anything, they mention, oh, it's all about stats and numbers and all of that. Do you really think I have time on this? It would go the rest of the show me if all I did was break down every single one of the players with all their films. But you can watch us do that with James Pierce Jr. and Josiah Stewart on previous shows. And
Big
I believe
facts.
that they are clips. And we also showed some game film from Willie Lampkin when I did a more extensive breakdown. This is just Cliff Notes. That's all this is. It is a Cliff Notes. I would love to do film breakdowns of every single one of those players, and maybe we will. Tune in because we're going to talk a lot of draft. But KG, your thoughts?
Personally, this is an A- for me. The only pick that I really question, you pretty much won the draft off the first 2 picks. If you could get James Pierce Jr. and Josiah Stewart as a potential starter and maybe some edge depth, that I think that's a home run. Willie Lampkin, and I guess call me a sizes if you have to.
That's fine.
It just depends on what the other options are at guard. I do like that you went guard, 3rd round pick. That's probably how I would have done it. You went wide receiver in the 4th. Not mad at that, just based on who you got. Tight end is a questionable pick to me because you have Sam Laporta, you have Shane Zylstra coming back. I think those are primarily your 2, pass catching and blocking tight ends. So I don't know if a 5th round tight end really does it for me, but I like that you went safety, and I'm not mad at the 7th round Flyers. I personally think this is an A-.
Well, thank you. And for the record, if I could do this over again, I don't know if I would take Cade Prieskorn as high as I did.
Yeah.
He's not my favorite prospect. If there's one that I would question myself on, that's why when I was given my reasons, I'm like, I was a little...
Yeah. It's good to know we was on the same wave with that, though.
Absolutely. But, hey, other than that, I would say if there's any 2 picks that I'm not as bullish on, it's probably Torrey Horton and Cade Prieskorn. But as far as the first 3 and the last 2, I will stand by those 100%. Those were ones where I was excited to click the little button on the PFF mock draft simulator.
Let him cook.
Oh, man. But no, I love that. Like you said, the James Pierce Jr. one at the top of that draft and Josiah Stewart. You're talking about getting some defensive line help with the opportunity to still bring back a Zadarius Smith. That, to me, is cooking with grease, Final Sound.
Hey, thank you so much. But the good news is we've got more mock drafts to break down. I think when we come back, we got Mr. Detroit Kool-Aid takes center stage, but you also take center stage with a Dr. Pierce reading.
Hey, attention sports fans. Don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine. You got to join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy, every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. And you know what? He talked about Janai Broom. Shout out to Flannel Sam for helping us get the pronunciation right. But Janai Broom, and he confirmed that there was some secret sauce going on to help him get through that Michigan State game. But trust the guy that D-Man trusts, because Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports is live in downtown Detroit for Tigers opening day.
This one's blasted out toward the bullpen.
Live from the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House.
Way back, forget it. Out of here.
Brought to you by White Claw.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
What up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward and the chat family. As always, we appreciate y'all for kicking off the day with the WUW Crew. And you know what, KG? We should have the people going ahead and just satisfy that like button.
Should we?
Yeah, I think so. I see Kavasi over there too, man.
All right, well,
I see Kavasi.
you know.
Whoa there.
We're all right, big whoa.
That's what I like, buddy.
Whoa there.
Smash the like button. Treat it right, treat it nice. Hey, definitely, man. And twice for me. It is 14 years for Queen Kool-Aid and not today.
Hey, somebody smashing the like button later. But for y'all at home, go ahead and just put that finger on that screen, man. Just go ahead and hit that like button. Real nice and real smooth for the
I got the all black Maxes on.
Oh, yeah, you chose violence today.
And the black hat.
He chose
now
violence.
It makes sense, right?
You in Debo mode today.
Yeah.
Sweetie, man, when I get home. But you know what? We got
you know it's real when you get a warning before you get home.
Now, see, shout out to.
I mean, it's like porn to me.
Hey,
who's that handsome fella?
Oh man, no! Shout out for man to Queen Kool-Aid, to wifey, and 14 years married, 16 years together. 20 years knowing that she was on this earth. So
hey, congratulations.
Hey, 4 kids in and a lot of success, a lot of support, a lot of sacrifices she's given. So, hey, shout out to you, baby. Wow, love you. But got to get into this NFL mock draft for the Detroit Lions. And you guys will see some familiar names at the top, so I won't belabor those names, but we'll definitely talk about them.
Yep.
If you can go ahead and throw that up there.
Yep.
Linebacker first pick. No, I'll tell you.
Hey, I did get a linebacker. I did get one. I made it a mission.
He did get
to
a linebacker.
Find one that can definitely, what I believe, fit with your scheme, Kelvin Shepard, aka KG.
There we go.
You know, yeah, but no, there's no surprise here. My first 3 picks: James Pierce Jr., Josiah Stewart, Willie Lampkin, and I kind of went back and forth with, do I want to, prioritize size and aggression, or do I want to prioritize players who, when you look at least their film, when you look at the highlights, when you look at some of their games, am I coming away with a player like Brad Holmes says that just looks like they're making plays out there on the field beyond what any of the measurables may be? And that's where I really, really lean heavily on a lot of the breakdowns that you heard from KG, from Flannel Sam. And I do implore you guys to go back and look at those videos. You search Josiah Stewart, one of those videos that's going to pop up is the breakdown that they did here. And when you look at Josiah Stewart, and I said this in the last segment, and even a Willie Lampkin, on the other side of the ball, you're getting 2 players who, despite what anybody may say, if they have any disadvantage from the size perspective in the trenches, they have the technique to make up for all of that, and they have, honestly, just the motor to make it happen. And that, to me, is what I like. With Josiah Stewart and James Pierce Jr., you're talking about just elite speed to track things down in the backfield, elite speed to change directions if there's a misdirection. You're talking about teams that were last year trying to throw the Detroit Lions defense off a little bit, and I think that when you add a couple more dogs like this in the trenches on the defensive line side of things, you give yourself a whole lot more speed and space. And I like what Zadarius Smith brought to the table. I don't think that he's going to be as fast as what these players are going to be able to present or bring to the table, especially when you're talking about a more healthy Detroit Lions defensive line when you get a Lee McNeil back. And then, obviously, the big fella, Aiden Hutchinson. But when you kind of go beyond those first 3 that Flannel Sam broke down so well and during his mock draft, this is where things get, I wouldn't say necessarily interesting. I would say probably a little bit more predictable. I had to go with the linebacker who, though, showed a little bit of ability to get into the backfield, a little bit of ability to kind of diagnose everything, play in the passing game, as well as be able to step up and play in diagnose run, or if it's time to get after the quarterback. And that's where I go with Barrett Carter out of Clemson. Linebacker, 6 foot, 231 pounds. And what I like about a lot of these players, when you talk about every pick from here on down, is that they play. That's what you're going to see. The availability is that they are there and that they are coming up in a lot of the, all ACC or all conference awards. But with Barrett Carter, what I really, really like about him is that wound up as a finalist for the Butkus Award for the nation's top linebacker, and he started all 14 games, 82 tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, and 7 pass breakups, showing the ability to do a little bit of both when it's time to drop back or when it's time to be able to get after it. And I think that at a position right here, especially with KG, Kelvin Shepard, I haven't really seen the Detroit Lions make too much of an investment at the linebacker position. And I do believe it's because you got some dogs in there like Alexander Zoni, like a Jack Campbell, But I would like to see this team go and finally make a push there, and I do believe that this one helps. He has the range, speed, athleticism to cover when you talk about end-to-end speed, when you're talking about the passing game, when you're talking about the run game, swings with the running back or with wide receivers. Has the ability to cover pretty well as well, and agile, twitchy burst to close out distance speeds when you're talking about tackling. So it's no secret, especially in NFC North, the level of running backs that we're going to be able to face. And I like having this type of protection there. When I looked at last year, think about how many different linebackers played different roles for the Detroit Lions, including Malcolm Rodriguez and Derek Barnes, before ultimately succumbing to injury. So had to talk a little bit longer about my linebackers, but as we go on to the next one, I wanted to make sure we're shoring up these trenches. And that's what brings us to one Jake Majors. And this is a guy, again, who he just plays. That's just it. This guy played a lot. And there was a couple different offensive linemen that I was kind of picking between. And I like him, but I'm kind of even more intrigued with Joshua Gray, who I have at the bottom. But we're going to get there, man. One of the other players here, though, that intrigues me, and I want to be able to get you guys' takeaway on this as well, is, and tell me if I'm saying this name right, Oronde Gadsden.
Yes,
tight end.
that's correct.
Right, definitely. Tight end out of
Syracuse.
6'5", 243 pounds, man. And this is a guy who has versatility. You're talking about a player that has wide receiver type lineage in his background. So he has that pass catcher instinct, but as it relates to a tight end, he's able to use that frame as it relates to blocking, and he also has the ability to block and get off that block quickly and into the field of play to potentially get some pass catching. And again, this is another one of those players who, when I'm looking at players this low in the draft, I am looking for players that are going to be available. I'm looking for players that were ultimately productive. I'm looking for players like him in 2024's first team All-ACC, and he set the school and ACC record for a tight end with 73 receptions. So, again, when you talk about Barrett Carter, the same thing here. You're looking at a player who might not be as heralded as some of these top draft picks, but you're looking at production and you're looking at what effectively people are saying about them at the end of the season, and these guys are popping up amongst the honored. And then to round out the mock draft for the Detroit Lions, that's going to get them a Super Bowl, Joshua Gray. This one is an intriguing one to me, man. Let me see here. Pull up the notes on Joshua Gray. Just plays football, and he set his school record with 56 career starts. And I wanted to be able to get some experience when you're talking about picking this low. 6'5", 299 pounds, man. And he's pretty versatile. His first 3 seasons, he played left tackle, and then his last season, he switched to left guard, and where he started all 12 games and was a team captain. And so this, to me, it kind of screams Brad Holmes guy. When you're talking about the versatility, you're talking about the size, you're talking about shoring up both sides of the trenches and taking a flyer on a player that has some experience and performed at a high level. But I need the ball knowers to tell me, what do you think of my mock draft?
Well, for some reason that I can't quite put my finger on, your first 3 picks, immaculate. Give us an A+ just for that.
So familiar.
Oh my goodness, you know ball so well. But Kool-Aid, for the record, he didn't copy mine or anything. We did ours separate, and you know what? It's because they're 3 damn good players who I think would be good picks at their respective picks. But there's one other thing that I really, really like, and it reminds me of what I did in the 7th round with R.J. Mickens and Ty Robinson. Oronde Gadsden falling to the 7th round, I think, is malfeasance. I think Oronde Gadsden is a 4th round guy. He was extremely productive at Syracuse, 2 900+ yard seasons, 6'5". He's got good speed and athleticism. He can kind of be like a slot tight end combo, just wide receiver skills. I don't understand why he's falling so far. I know there's questions about his separation, but at the same time, Oronde Gadsden, I would pick him in the 4th round. And the 7th, pick.
And I'm glad to hear you say that, because that's what kind of drew me to him, was the versatility there. Like, is he locked into simply just a tight end spot, or with the Lions and how versatile we know their play calling to be, is he somebody that they can move around, or based on what they need availability-wise? Because, when you go and you see a player like that, you see what his draft grade is supposed to be, you see that he's falling that low. All of a sudden, you start looking at everything that you can about that player, and I'm like, whoa, this is a guy that I would not mind on the lines, especially if he fell that low.
And I guess there's some questions about his blocking as well, but catch the ball. I don't see him really being a strong blocking tight end ever. To me, when I look at Arundé Gatson, when I look at what I've seen from him in college, his college film reminds me a lot of what I saw from O.J. Howard at Alabama. He's not O.J. Howard as a prospect, don't get me wrong. O.J. Howard was an elite tight end prospect, but Arundé Gatson, he's definitely a poor man's, maybe even a little bit above a poor man's O.J. Howard. If there's one gripe that I have, I just have one. To me personally, and I'm not mad at you because we all have our opinions, we all have our how we analyze players and what we like and we don't like. Barrett Carter to me is off my board. My questions with him are his size and the fact that his coverage numbers were really, really poor. Despite his overall great season, allowed a 131 passer rating when targeted and 5 touchdowns, no picks. I personally would not take Barrett Carter, but I really love your top 3. Obviously I do because they were my top 3. And I love Arundé Gatson as a 7th round flyer. Love it.
Hey, dope. Arundé is one now that I'm really wondering because going into this, I was wondering, is there somebody in the lower part of the draft, maybe a 6th round flyer that you could take on a player that you can potentially coach up? And when I saw this one, that was just exactly where my mind went. With Barrett Carter, it was like, you know what, I want to find a linebacker that, shows at least the skill set. But, with the stats that you do provide there, it does give you a little bit of pause for concern. But can a guy like a Calvin Shepard, is there a guy in that linebacking core in this draft that you can coach up in that range? At that range, including the players that were available, I was like, there were wide receivers available. There was a little bit of trench work for the offensive line, but linebacker was sitting right there. And I was like, you know what? Let's rock with it. No,
I certainly don't hate the flyer at all. And I personally think with both of our drafts that if somehow, some way that Brad Holmes can come away with even one of R.J. Mickens, Ty Robinson, and Arundé Gatson, I think that those are 3 guys that are 4th-round prospects, 100%. They all have so much that intrigues me. With Ty Robinson, it's his production and athleticism. With R.J. Mixon, it was his production, and he measured pretty well in some athletic just metrics. And also with Arundé Gatson, I look at his tape and I'm like, that's O.J. Howard. Why is he in the 7th round? And O.J. Howard, don't get me wrong, he hasn't been a great NFL player or anything, but he was solid for a while. And he just, to me, they both just leaped off the screen. And it's like, Arundé Gatson in the 7th round, are you kidding? Pick.
But do you know what the exercise does do, though? Because you go through these so many times. I know other people have. I know Cavassier did. And what you realize in this draft in particular, it is a deep draft for a lot of the positions that the Detroit Lions are going to effectively be in play for. And that, to me, is where you hear Brad Holmes talk the way that he does, and he sounds so confident. You see the way that these draft boards could fall, and he could stay put and really, really have his pick of the litter. Because when I look back at how did some of these players fall, I was like, oh, you could totally see it playing that way. And if it doesn't, guess what? Someone else is going to fall. And so it did put me a little bit more at ease with Brad Holmes and with this plan for the defensive line, because there's a lot of sneaky good players that I believe are going to fall into their lap at 28, or if he chooses that he needs to trade up just a little bit for his guy. That's what this kind of this draft in particular is starting to make me comfortable with.
Hey, and speaking of this draft, Chase takes center stage when we get back from break. Yeah. We're going to break down his draft, but first, tell us where to follow Woodward Sports on socials.
Hey. You can stay connected with Woodward Sports on all social platforms. You want to be following us on Facebook, X, Instagram, along with YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok for the latest sports news, live updates, and behind-the-scenes action. Tell you guys you want to stay tapped in. We're going to have a lot more giveaways. You guys already know it's jerseys, tickets to games, cash, getaways, and so much more. I know we're going to have some Pistons tickets that are going to be hitting soon. So don't miss out. Hit that follow button now and be a part of Detroit's #1 digital sports network at Woodward Sports everywhere.
Tigers of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! The boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
All right, Woodward Sports fans, whether you're hitting the game or just simply chilling at home, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest line of recreational cannabis products, 27 locations across the state, 9 alone in Metro Detroit, so there's always one right around the corner from you. And don't forget that stores are open up very, very soon in Madison Heights, Milan, Michigan, and Grand Rapids as well, too. If you can't go in-store, you can always check out their products online at jarscannabis.com, because you know why? I know you want to get high.
What up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and shout out to Feldman Chevrolet of Novi. Hey, they are going to be the continuing sponsor for Wake Up Woodward's NFL draft coverage. And so far, we've gotten mock drafts from Flannel Sam, myself. I know that you said you've gotten some from the chat family as well. Yes. I can't wait to get to those. But we got Kavasi Chase, maybe Chase GPT in the building. He's about to whip out his big mock.
Hey, yo.
Sitting right next to him.
Let's chill.
Hey,
average, maybe a little under.
They need a pause sound effect on the button box.
Shout out to the originator, Matt Broder.
But as we get into my mock draft, I know you'll probably notice the theme. I mostly stay heavy in the trenches. The way I like football, like if I'm building a team, I like to build it inside out. I think if you have really good penetration up the middle, and then and you're able to force people to the edge, and you have good edge presence on the outside, you kind of clean it up. I think that's a great way to be successful, not only winning games but winning championships. If you don't believe me, look at how the Eagles built their defensive line. Look at how the Chiefs built their defensive line with Chris Jones. Even go back before that. The Rams had Aaron Donald just tearing up the middle and making it much easier for their guys on the edge to clean it up. So that's why I went with Derek Harmon, who our guy KG has broke down. So if you guys want to rewind and go back and look more at that full breakdown with the tape and everything for Derek Harmon, I think he's done a really good job of explaining why he would be a fantastic pick in the first round. With number 2, I went with Jared Ivey, who I think has a lot of athleticism, and I think some of his weaknesses are they don't know if he's necessarily has the win rate against those number 1 tackles, but when you have an Aiden Hutchinson and a Lee McNeil and a Derek Harmon, causing issues on the defensive line, I don't think that you're going to be pairing Jared Ivey against your number 1 tackle, which may allow him, to use that athleticism, that strength, and that speed to win on the edge. Moving on to the 3rd round, I did want to go with it does say tackle. I think Charles Grant might actually end up playing more guard in the NFL, and I am projecting him to hopefully play that position on the Lions. Questions about his competition level, playing at the FCS level, but to me, just looking at his profile, he's someone that screams toughness. He was an all-state wrestler. He didn't start playing football until his junior year of high school. We have seen late bloomers in the past. I mean, look at the Eagles with Jordan Mailata, referencing them again. He's their starting right tackle. He's fantastic now. And I think Charles Grant's toughness, his size, he's big, beefy, 300 pounds. He's got some thick arms. So I think that, him in the run game, especially like in the middle next to a Frank and a Penei Sewell, or in between Frank and Taylor Decker, be a really good pairing. Aligned with Sam here in the 4th round, when I saw his pick of Torrey Holton, I think we have someone with a very similar attitude to Amon-Ra St. Brown, although he has a bigger size and stature, more similar to like what we saw with Josh Reynolds. And I think that's a cool hybrid and blend of a type of player that fits the mold of this team and also I think he's a perfect receiver to open up the that X position that we were looking for. I don't think he's going to demand the ball too much. I think he's, like I said, he's going to fit well within the system. He's going to make plays when it matters, the way we see Tim Patrick just showing up, making that first down reception for that 12, 14, 16-yard gain on a third down when you need it. And then sticking in the trenches, I went with Dylan Fairchild. I just wanted to add some more beef to the offensive line. I think if you want to question Charles Grant's competition in the FCS level, Dylan Fairchild at Georgia in the SEC, has had to go up against some very stout competition, NFL caliber players. So again, I love just adding to the trenches. I think like you win and lose games at the line of scrimmage, offensively and defensively. So and I'm gonna roll that into my 7th round selection with Holland Pierce. This man is huge. If you like Dan Skipper, I mean, I'm kind of projecting this guy to be, that similar type role where he's not going to play every down, but if you need him to fill in, he's unquestionably the largest tackle in the draft. He's very disciplined as well. I think in his entire career, only 4 penalties against, and I think 3,100 career snaps. So very disciplined. He's put in the work to, tone up and trim down a little bit to get more, to a playable weight. Obviously he's 6'8", 345, so it's just huge.
No single patties for you, all double.
Yeah. And then double burgers. Wrapping up my mock, I just kind of looking for just BPA right here, and I'm not gonna try to pronounce the first name. He goes by Woody Marks, but I think he'd be someone cool to pair with in a special teams role. Obviously, we have Craig Reynolds, who sometimes takes on those roles in kick returns, punt returns. Maybe we see a pairing of Sione Vaki and Woody Marks, in a special teams role. I mean, very athletic and elusive. We have Gibbs and Monty, who are going to be our main 1 and 2. But I think just having a little bit extra oomph, a little bit extra speed, and if you want to call if you want to call Jahmyr Gibbs Budweiser, then maybe Woody Marks can be our Bud Light, so to speak, as far as that backup running back. So
Joquavius Marks, that's his name.
Yeah. Joquavius. Yeah. I saw he goes by Woody, so I was I'll go by that.
He whooped Michigan's ass. So but definitely remembering.
Yeah, Woody.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of wrapping up my mock. Like I said, stayed heavy focused on the trenches. That's like I said, it's where I think football is win and lost. That's how I like to build a team. If I'm playing Madden, if I'm, so, I mean, that's really the only time I get to build a team. I'm not like an NFL GM or anything like that. But, that's just the way I like to look at it. If I was in Brad's position and this is the way the board fell to me, this is kind of how I'd like to do.
Hey, obviously, that Derek Harmon pick at the top of the board, man, with a little bit of hometown flair to it. And that's, again, great breakdowns by Flannel Sam and KG on the network channel on Woodward Sports on some of these players. And good mock draft, Vassier checks.
Yeah, very, very well done. KG, I want your thoughts on it because Derek Harmon is your guy, so I'm sure you're at least happy with the first pick.
Yeah, this is another A draft to me, and I kind of like the positional variety that you went with. You got an edge, you got an interior. I really love this Charles Grant pick. Not gonna hold you. That would be great tackle depth, especially if a Giovanni Manu, if he's not on track or is somebody that won't be able to take over once Taylor Decker hangs him up. I really like that pick right there on the rookie deal. Of course, like we talked about Torrey Horton, I don't think that's a bad pick at wide receiver. I just don't know if I would go wide receiver that early. But Dylan Fairchild, I love it. Jared Ivey is a sneaky pick. He is somebody that, he'll be good in the run game here. And once again, you said that, he's not going to be somebody that'll start for you. So if we're just basing it off that and maybe, he's filling in for a Davenport playing on the other side of Hutch, he does have some pass rush upside, but in the run game, he would be really good. But could be a sneaky pick. It's somebody that could develop maybe into a starter one day. So, but no, I absolutely love Derek Harmon. Y'all know how I feel about him. This is a draft to me, not A-. This is a draft.
Hey, fair enough. Yeah. And Chase, I already know you're a ball knower because for some reason your 4th round pick, I love it. But for real though, Derek Harmon in the 1st round, I don't hate that at all. Was absolutely elite last season when he got out of the MSU hellhole. With all due respect, JB, they were a
just
losing
had to throw
team.
that out there.
And he wasn't as good or as productive in Michigan State as he was in Oregon, but we all know that he could play just by watching him. I don't hate Jared Ivey either at the number 60 pick. If to me, in terms of edges that'll be available at 60, I really like Jared Ivey and his production. If he would be my second choice after Josiah Stewart. It looks like we had a similar idea in the third round, except you wanted to go with someone a little bit more size, who played more tackle but can project to be a guard. I cannot kill you for that. And as far as it seems like you want to hit the offensive line, and I don't blame you, because Graham Glasgow didn't have a great year last year. We don't know what his future is. Christian Mahogany, although very good, had a very limited snap count last year, 144 snaps combined in the regular season and playoffs. And then when it comes to Frank Ragnow, you always have to worry about him retiring. Taylor Decker has fallen off a little bit, even though he's under contract for, I believe, 3 more years. So the offensive line, it's amazing right now, but it's not a bad idea to sure things up, because you don't know what you're going to get out of Manu. You haven't seen a lot of good things out of Corby Sorsdahl. We all know what Dan Skipper is. He's a backup. Yeah. Don't hate this at all.
No, not at all. And shout out to Ed O'Neill. I see the 199 super chat. Could we play Harmon and Aleem together? There will be some sets because he would be your first, to me, if you get a Derek Harmon, he's your first rotational piece coming off the bench. No offense to Levi Onwuzurike, but you're looking at somebody that when Levi Onwuzurike's contract is up, Derek Harmon could maybe challenge for the starting spot on this team, depending on what they want to do with DJ Reader. But as far as his rookie season, absolutely, you will see times where it's him and Reader out there together. You'll see times where it's him and Aleem out there together. But all in all, I think that's a great pick. And once again, I think Derek Harmon is somebody that could be a future starter for you, depending on what you want to do with DJ Reed. And even if you do decide to keep somebody like that, when Levi Onwuzurike's contract is up, you have your first reserve off the bench, and he's pretty damn good.
Hey, and Levi Onwuzurike, he's on a 1-year contract, so it's going to be up very, very soon. It wouldn't shock me if the Derek Harmon pick goes through.
No.
It wouldn't shock me if he plays more snaps this year than Levi. Derek Harmon was elite last year at Oregon. 18% pass rush win rate from the interior is bananas. Bananas. And he's somebody that, out of all of the interior defensive linemen, whether it's Levi, whether it's Aleem, whether it's DJ Reader, you've got yourself a pretty nice nucleus. Roy Lopez. Derek Harmon has the most pass rush upside out of any of them. So that's why I think he's a guy, if he's not necessarily a day one starter, as he continues to develop, he could be a problem in the trenches.
Yes.
And people forget, Aleem is going to be out for a while at the beginning of the year. So shoring that up is certainly a way to go that I don't hate.
So one of the biggest takeaways here across all of the mock drafts, including the breakdowns that you guys have done on the channel, is that the Lions are going to have a serious opportunity to upgrade the depth, the versatility, and potentially starters on this team on both sides of the ball in the trenches.
Absolutely. And coming up next, you guys are on the stand. If we like it, we hate it, we will give our honest truth on your mock drafts.
Hey, you know what? Greg gives his honest truth on ours. He says, I give Flannel, Kool-Aid, and Chase all A's.
Well, thank you, Greg.
Oh,
Thank
nice.
you, Greg.
Yeah.
Hey, we love my crew.
Flannel don't even know how to take the compliments from the chat.
Right. Does not compute.
First one I ever got. First one I ever got. No, I'm kidding. You guys are.
My dog choked up, man. I feel you, bro.
You guys are more fair sometimes than I give you guys credit for, but there are other times where no. But anywho, Les Stanford.
Love-hate relationship.
Yep, Les Stanford.
Les Stanford, and then you guys are taking center stage next. Les Stanford Buick and GMC has great offers for everyone. Get a 2024 Envision 80 NIR for only $299 per month, or try out the 2025 Sierra Crew Cab Elevation for only $229 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for only $799 per month. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick and GMC, lesstanford.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month?
Yeah, nah, you good.
How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. The bats are hot, and the weather is getting hotter. Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters, Woodward Sports. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
All right, Woodward Sports fans, scan that QR code on screen, use code word Woodward1000, and take part in Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. You can deposit up to $1,000, but all you have to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet, and if it doesn't hit, it'll go right back into your account with no questions asked. Hey, if you bet on the Pistons money line yesterday, guess what? That 20 is right back into your account, because damn those OKC Thunders. I'm telling you right now, scan the QR code on screen, use code word Woodward1000. You know what? Make some money tonight.
Make some money? What up, though? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and we appreciate you, chat family, for kicking off the day with the WUW Crew. It's your boy Brandon Den, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Flannel Sam, the vet of the squad, the vet of the network, Red Wings correspondent, all sports knower, ball knower. Just like our guy, Cade, Detroit's #1 draft pick, out in the building. Cavassier Chase. Shout out to our brothers, Matthew Broder, that dude Justin, and we also got in this elite booth. You know what, man?
That's all right.
In the sound booth, you know what?
I know.
Woodward Sports is Willie B.
What's happening? What's happening right here, man? I hope everything goes well, man.
Can you show the people your shirt?
What do you
real
mean?
quick?
What do you mean? This one, man?
Yeah, move over to the there you go. Back up
a little bit.
Why do? Oh yeah.
Oh Lord.
Oh my
God.
Ladies, that's an advertisement for you. Hey, Big Willie, is you single, Big Willie?
I've been single, so that case, yes, man.
I've been single.
Well, who wouldn't want some of the world's best?
Right.
Indeed. Best quality, indeed.
Hey, that ain't the hunt dick. That's the real one right there, man.
Where can I get that shirt before
I was hot
my
topics.
date tonight?
I got that
for my date tonight.
Oh, I got a solution for you. I got a teacher said heads or tails, either way I win.
Oh, shit. Hey, Big Willie on the market, y'all. For all the ladies out there, hey, hit up my boy Will, man.
Oh, shit. You know, it's all good, man. It's all in comedy, man. All in comedy, baby.
Let me not forget, WUW Sports is MVP in the TD booth, JB.
Why you gotta go to me after that?
No. You go ahead, JB.
So we got some mock drafts sent in by the chat family.
Yes,
right?
yes, we absolutely do. And go. There's no easy way to transition from this, so we'll just go on. So Dante151, you're the one that is blessed with the burden of following that. JB, go ahead and put up his mock draft. And JB, if you want to go down the line and read it. It looks like he made a trade.
Oh yeah, I got you. So that trade is, well, here, let me actually zoom in on that just a little bit, just so I can see it just a little bit better. But Dante made a trade out here, so shout out to him. I think that's the first trade we've got in one of these mock drafts. But he has taken the 3rd round pick from the Browns, 102, and he's given up the 3rd round pick from us, 102, and he's received round 6, 179, round 7, 257, and a 4th round pick in 2026, and another 4th round pick in 2027. So
he's cooking up with them
trades.
trades.
He's got some trades going.
All right. Jeez. And for the people on audio only, do you mind going through the picks real quick, JB?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Here we got first round James Pierce Jr. obviously. 2nd round edge rusher Josiah Stewart coming up. I know everyone really likes Josiah Stewart. 4th round linebacker. I'm sure Kool-Aid will like this as well too. Barrett Carter.
Hey,
he's another Barrett Carter call sign.
A lot of great minds thinking alike, right? Good go ahead.
Another Barrett Carter there. Round 6 tackle Logan Brown from Kansas. Round 7 safety Craig Woodson from Cal. Round 7 again safety Dante Trader Jr. from Maryland. And round 7 one more time another linebacker Jillian Walker from Indiana. What do we guys think? What do you guys think?
All right, so obviously I like James Pierce Jr. and Josiah Stewart. The one facet in which I disagree is that I would just take James Pierce Jr. at 28. But I also mentioned when we did a more extensive breakdown that if he's there past 20, or even heck, maybe even past 15, and you have an opportunity to go up and make sure that you get him, I would 100% do that. Josiah Stewart at 60, I obviously love. Not a fan of the Barrett Carter pick, but I've already made my reasons known. I know Kool-Aid is. As far as the later rounds, if there's one pick that I really, really like, I don't love doubling up on safeties, but I really like the Craig Woodson one because he was insanely productive at Cal in his last year. So overall, Dante, I would probably give it a B. Really like the first 2 picks, but a lot of the others I find slightly sus, in my opinion. Who knows? Maybe if Brad Holmes follows your lead, Dante, we get a Super Bowl. But me personally, mixed bag for me.
Anybody else?
I like the way it looks, man. I want to make sure we have the time to get through the others too, but I really value what KG and Flannel Sam have to say about these.
It's funny. A lot of these drafts, James Pierce and Josiah first 2 off the board. But I would absolutely be a fan if that actually happened. I didn't get a chance to address the Barrett Carter thing during your pick segment, Kool-Aid, but I actually love that pick a lot. Especially considering he's not going to be, a starting linebacker for this team. You'll have a chance to develop him. And if you can maybe use him as a specialist, in passing coverage, I would really like that. Would he, hit the field right away? That is something that we would, still have to see. But overall, if Kelvin Shepard were to go out there and get a Barrett Carter, I'm all on board for that. I don't think his size would hinder him too much in terms of developing at the next level, but I really like that pick. And the tackle depth, once again, this is a solid pick for Logan Brown, but you got a lot of safeties here in the later rounds. I do understand it's later round picks, but overall, I think B is a good grade, like you said. But the first 2 picks, of course, being the ones that get you that grade.
All right. We've got quite a few more. We've got throw up Michael Leach's JBSmooovv.
Mike Leach.
And there's obviously some trades that go on in that.
I was going to say, I think that first pick is a trade, just given the symbol right there. So, and obviously you hopped up to 16 to grab James Pierce Jr. once again. I believe pick 60, they got Josiah Stewart out of Michigan Edge. 102, Jalen Reed, safety out of Penn State.
Everybody's back.
On 130, Nick Nash, wide receiver, San Jose State, which that's actually a sneaky good pick as well, too. I like that one. 196, Xavier Truss, OG from Georgia. 228, Nazir Stackhouse, defensive tackle out of Georgia. And 244, Brady Cook, QB out of Missouri. What do you guys think?
Obviously, I like the first 2 a lot. A lot of people have that, but it's because I think a lot of us see the edge rushing position as a need, opposite Aiden Hutchinson, to give more options other than guys like Davenport and Pascal. Some of you like them. I think that the Lions could do better, and certainly with most of our mock drafts, we have the Lions addressing that. Jalen Reed, against safety, It doesn't seem like a need on surface, but as far as depth goes, I like the Jalen Reed one. I know Nick Nash, that is Neil's guy. I know Neil said that he's got some St. Brown in him.
Yeah.
Pause. But Nick Nash is insanely productive at San Jose State, and I wouldn't mind that at all, especially with the fourth round. As far as the rest of it goes, addressing some O-line in the later rounds, which I don't necessarily hate. Brady Cook as a 7th-round flyer. He'll probably never see the field, but can't kill you for that. Solid draft. I like the first 4 picks quite a bit, actually.
And I was going to ask you guys this, especially given the last mock draft that had a couple safeties at the bottom as well as this one that has one present. Should we be paying any more attention to the secondary for the Lions after Brad Holmes effectively looked like he beefed that up over the last couple seasons?
Just for... As far as corner goes, I'd probably say no now.
Yeah.
But as far as safety goes, absolutely. I think you absolutely draft one safety in this one. Not 2 like a Dante 151, but one that you feel good about. I would definitely do that because after Branch, one of the people that they actually did let walk was Ife Melifonwu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Dang,
and
oh, yeah.
I get why they did it
He got
because
snatched up quick.
he didn't have availability was his biggest question, but
Yeah.
I think you do need one more person.
Yeah, you could use that third safety. The way they use Iffy was more in a specialist role, but if you were to just go get some depth, I wouldn't be mad at that. But like you said, it's just really one safety you need to add to the secondary at this point. But overall, I like this draft. Nick Nash, somebody that Neil Rule has talked about, I need to see more tape on. But if you compare them to Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's high praise. So Jalen Reed as well, safety pick. In the 3rd round, could there be some offensive line, offensive linemen that you could go out there and get maybe at the guard position at that time probably. But I'm not mad at that either. But overall, solid draft.
Solid draft for sure. And do you want to throw up JB Charles McClain's?
Charles McClain.
Shout out Charles
Then
McClain.
go ahead and read that for the people who are audio only.
I got you. He also had a trade as well too. But starting off at 28, Gray Zabel, OG from North Dakota State. I don't really know him. Defensive tackle at number 60, Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss. 119 becomes the trade is Samuel Mardon Jr., linebacker out of Georgia. Don't really know that one either. 130, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his first name, but Jones, edge rusher out of LSU. 150, Jack Sawyer. I don't even know how he dropped that far, but okay. That was a trade as well, too. I'm not too sure the details of that one, but Jack Sawyer, edge rusher out of Ohio State. 193, Mitchell Evans, tight end out of Notre Dame, and finishes up the draft 196 with Dylan Gabriel, QB out of Oregon.
Holy shit.
All right.
Okay.
I don't love this one, not going to lie. You know how I feel about guard in the first round. I don't think there's one worth taking. I think you can get better value later. Walter Nolan, if he falls to 60, that could be a really good value pick because his athleticism and production deems that he should be a first-round pick or high second round. Jack Sawyer, though, falling to 150.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
wild.
one.
That's crazy.
Is that a thing? Is Jack Sawyer just plummeting?
I've seen that in the chat several times this morning that Jack Sawyer has been dropping down different mock drafts and such, and that's why I keep saying, like, it feels like the Detroit Lions are going to have their opportunity to go out there and take a flyer, not just on a player that can provide some type of depth on the trenches, but maybe even a player that can provide a little bit more than that.
I mean, if he's there, sure. I mean, I'd probably pick him higher if he was available, but at 150, I certainly like that.
Anything?
I know, but maybe that's something I should look into a little bit more. I don't. Mitchell Evans, it's 193. I'm not going to kill you for that. And Riley Leonard was his quarterback. He was productive enough, but kind of more of a possession tight end. I don't think he has a ton of upside. Dylan Gabriel at 196. I mean, sure. I think he'll probably be drafted higher than that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is the first mock draft where I'm kind of like, don't love it. C. Maybe even minus. You know what? I'll go C minus.
C minus. Yeah, I was about to say, I think this should stay in the C range. I see what he tried to do with Gray Zabal, or Zabel, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, sorry. But I see what he tried to do at 28 because he is ranked pretty highly amongst the offensive tackles in this draft, arguably maybe the top prospect. But it's just, I don't know. If you want to go tackle there, I would much rather go guard. And I know they got him as a guard listed on here, but on the NFL.com site, they got him listed as a tackle. So I would much rather go guard there. If you're going to get any offensive lineman at all at 28, go guard. But overall, I mean, this ain't bad. I would be a little hurt as a Lions fan if Jack Sawyer is the main edge rushing option that you came away with. If you get Jack Sawyer in addition to somebody else, then I'm way more on board with it. But for him to be, your overall edge rusher that you're putting behind a Marcus Davenport, I don't know, man, because I just don't know how he's going to develop at the NFL level. You do like a lot of things about him athletically, but it's just, and I promise it's not just the Michigan thing. It's just Jack Sawyer. When you really break him down, he does have some things that you like, but overall, I don't know how it translates, especially to what the Lions need. But Walter Nolan, I actually really do like that pick at 60, Walter Nolan, there to help plug up the middle. But yeah, the rest of it, I would give it a strong C. I'll do C+, just to be nice. But I see what he tried to do with 28.
And to be fair, he did also pick Savion Jones, Jack Sawyer isn't the only edge option in this, but I would probably like somebody a little bit better.
Exactly. That's what I meant.
One thing that I have seen in the chat, and I think Chuck Brewer brought this to my attention, and this is something that I actually have heard, that Jack Sawyer, some scouts, and I think even Scott Bischoff said this as well. Shout out Scott Bischoff, friend of the network. Been on a lot of our shows. He's a definitely knows ball when it comes to draft. He's mentioned how Jack Sawyer doesn't have what he perceives to be much of an upside, that he's tapped into all of his potential. And don't get me wrong. Like, credit where credit is due. Jack Sawyer in the college football playoff was a monster. But overall in his career, he was good enough. But coming into Ohio State, people were projecting him as a next Bosa or Chase Young type, and he never really became that, except in the biggest moment, which is the college football playoff. So I understand that he may not have the perceived upside that some do, but still, 150? I mean, if Jack Sawyer's there at 150, pick.
No, I'd say, yeah. At 150, yeah. I just don't want him to be my main edge rusher coming out of the draft.
Absolutely not. I agree with that.
Like you said, Savion Jones is cool, but how much playing time will he actually get as compared to a Jack Sawyer? So, yeah, that's the only thing. But I'm not mad at this attempt. I don't think this is the worst mock draft in the world, but also probably one of the not best ones we've seen so far.
I mean, with Jack Sawyer, we know that the aggression is there with how we saw him take out that anger on that low-level staffer. All we got to do is pregame, show him the video of Michigan planting the flag on the field, and we're good to go with Jack Sawyer.
Yeah, there we go. And then he'll actually tap into all of his potential. That's all we got to do is show him that. But
they can't do this again, man. It's like, dog, take a chill pill.
Take a chill pill for sure. Or tell your coaching staff and Will Howard not to blow the game. But anywho, Ohio State did come back and win the Natty, and I've never taken that away from them. Congratulations to them, and congratulations to Jack Sawyer. And JTT also balled out in the college football playoff, for the record. But we do have another late submission, and Kool-Aid and I approve of this decision. You did allow one because it's Ed O'Neill.
Hey,
that is the last one that was put in Slack. JB, go ahead and put that on up. And
give me 1 second to grab it out of the downloads folder.
Oh, that's a no problem. I'll just preview it really quick.
Shout out to Ed
It
O'Neill,
looks
too.
like he made a trade, which is very, very interesting. And this one,
a trade has been
interesting. And here we go. And if you want to go ahead and read that to the audience,
traded
JB.
all the picks.
Oh, damn. There's only 4 picks on this one. Shout out to Ed O'Neill. Number 33, Tyler Booker, offensive lineman, Alabama. They gave him an A+ grade with that. Number 60, Jordan Birch, edge rusher out of Oregon. Number 67, Josiah Stewart, edge out of Michigan. And 102, Dorian Strong, cornerback, Virginia Tech. Only 4 picks out of this one, you guys.
That's all right. We didn't, for future reference, you guys don't have to necessarily do all 7 rounds, but you guys can, and certainly it's encouraged. As far as this draft goes, I know that Ed O'Neill put in the chat, I know Sam's not going to like this one. I don't love guard at 33. At least you traded back, though, and you got some value. And you allowed yourself to double up at edge rusher in the late second round and early third round. I certainly don't like a corner at 102, although Dorian Strong did only allow a 61 passer rating when targeted last year, which is elite. I just think the cornerback room is crowded enough as it is. And if the Lions do this, it would tell me that they're not that high on Ennis Rakestraw, which I think that they are, for the record. Josiah Stewart at 67, I absolutely love. Jordan Burch at 60, not my favorite. I'd rather have Jared Ivey or Josiah Stewart, which you got later, so that makes that a moot point. But Jordan Burch, he's got the athleticism, certainly a better, I would say, frame than like a Josiah Stewart. He's not necessarily undersized, but Jordan Burch, one thing that gives me some cause for pause is with Derek Harmon on the defensive line with him, Jordan Burch only had a 16% pass rush win rate last year. That's Josiah Stewart's, for reference, was 28, and James Pierce Jr.'s was a 23. So that's not my favorite at 60, but at least with the trade, you were able to weaponize that, get Tyler Booker at a little bit better value, and get double up at edge rusher with two prospects that you deem to be fit. So I would probably give this one a C- because I don't like the first or the fourth pick, or the first pick or the fourth one, but I see what you tried to do.
I would go higher. I get us a B-. I think this is pretty solid considering you did get Jordan Burch and Josiah Stewart. Now, Jordan Burch, he fits what the Lions like in a edge rusher, especially like athletically, size-wise, but I do not like his pass rushing upside. However, you have a Josiah Stewart there who I like his pass rushing upside a lot more.
Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big shout out to the good people over at Loom Cannabis Co. sending us that care package. I have been living good all week off of that care package, but spring is in the air and Michigan is buzzing. And I mean literally buzzing because that's the name of the drink. 7.5 milligrams of real THC wrapped in bubbles, crafted with real fruit juice and no artificial sweeteners. They're big in flavor but low in calories and 100% hangover free. For my people like Flannel Sam, they got to get up the next day. It's all bubbles and no troubles. Catch it in watermelon, cherry, or strawberry, or all three. Crack a can, take a sip, and catch a buzz. Available at any of Loom's 38 locations across Michigan. Use code WSN30 for 30% off your entire order, and you can get all that by going to loom.com.
What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Chat family, as always. We appreciate you all for kicking off today with the WUW Crew. And it's been a show, a Thursday show that's felt some parts like a Friday show.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? I've enjoyed the mock draft aspect of it, getting back into the TLB, talking to Lions. And I'm getting a lot more confident because this is let Brad cook season every single year with the draft. We're sitting here talking about the fact that right now he's trying to make sure he protects the long-term window to sign the guys he already drafted because these guys are all blossoming. So, you know what? We're going to let Brad cook up, and he's going to have his pick of the litter as a way to beefing up these trenches.
Absolutely.
Double patty style, right, Kvasia?
Sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
I said Brad Holmes gonna have his pick of the litter to beef up the trenches, double patty style.
Yeah, I've said it before, man. I love some big 300-pounders on the football team, bro. Like some big old bodies.
chill.
Like T. Foss says, he likes guys with big butts.
Hey, you do. You need some guys like that on the team. But speaking of cooking up, what's trending?
Hey, word to jars.
Let's do it.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
The man, the myth, the legend, Jay Bizzle.
Hey, let's rock, man. Live from the T-Tops booth.
I know, right? Live from the T-Tops booth. What's up, chat family? What's up, fellas? Flannel. Man, I'm glad that you are back because you know what? You took some time off. We were worried about you for a second, but I heard that you were just at home training, getting ready, getting White Claw ready because Flannel is about to blow up tomorrow when we're at the tent party for opening day. And you know what? We actually have some training footage from Flannel Sam that he sent in.
Oh, yeah.
Send this to Brady, dog.
Did my time, took my chances.
Oh, man.
Right. Get him out of here.
Hey,
Well, like I said, hey, glad you're back, Flannel.
is my house bugged with cameras or something? Get out of my life, people.
Get out of my life, people.
Doing the Rocky training montage at the crib for the White Claws.
See, you're just getting ready,
JB
man.
just be cooking up with the quickness, dog. Goodness gracious.
I
Shout out to
need-
JBSmooovv.
I hopefully just wish me luck, chat, that I can get a good nap in at some point today. And,
good nap
and
in.
a somewhat decent night of sleep because I'll tell you what, it's very unlikely given how excited that I am. But you know what? Adrenaline will carry me through regardless.
Well, like I said, I don't know what these guys are doing at the gym nowadays. Maybe you could help me out. This is another tough guy in training. He started his first day back at the gym by bench pressing 315. You know, just light work.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Oh, no.
I'm not too
Spotter?
sure he knows where
Dog, come on.
those plates are supposed to go.
Yeah, he put the plates on all wrong. He could have really hurt himself, dog.
Goodness gracious.
He must be old as hell.
No trigger warning, right?
Dog, this some young person shit. You got to be, you can't be this old doing shit like this.
And that rep doesn't count if you're like whole bodies off the bench, right?
Yeah, bro.
You were talking about the girl yesterday, Archer back. You got something to say about this guy?
No, not at all. not at all.
Hey, G, it's that elite bins, right?
He gonna fuck his back up.
He gonna break his fucking chest though, trying to lift that shit with the weights off of there like that. Oh my god, man. YouTube is your friend. We'll just say that, man.
Hey, get some
I can
help.
literally YouTube.
Get a friend
how to
out
bench
there.
press.
Get a friend out there to help you out if you're just new to the gym. Like I said, moving on. Wrong place at the wrong time. Once again, another gym segment gone wrong.
Oh, boy.
Oh no! Please tell me it didn't hit him. Did he move? Ah!
So wait, I can't see for that's a dude.
No, that's a woman doing sit-ups.
Okay, actually,
God
Lucky that wasn't a woman.
This just be like the Sopranos' famous cut to black.
Yep.
To your own interpretation.
Right.
all right. Here's what I will say though. Why the F are you doing sit-ups right by the squat rack?
Oh, well, yeah. That's a
That's
valid
smart.
question.
That ain't smart.
It's a
It's
valid
not.
question.
My brain is still trying to process everything right now, bro.
I think that that's honestly my biggest takeaway at this point because obviously unracking the weights got to be a little bit. But then again, is he really doing anything wrong or was it just an honest mistake?
It's
don't
an
know.
honest mistake. You probably should have been a little more attentive knowing that my man is on the other side. But at the same time, my man shouldn't be right by the fucking weight bench doing his sit-ups. Like,
I mean, inconvenient,
to
but when
evenly
you
unwrap.
take all of the weight off one side,
you gotta expect
You
that.
try
Yeah.
to get fucked up.
that's just basic physics.
Plain and
Yeah.
simple.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
They both in the wrong.
Because sometimes you can get away with it, but you have to expect that it could tip over like that.
I like how they edited this though, like a hood movie. You probably wondering how I got here. Like right there when it paused. You probably wondering how I got this position.
Record scratch.
Right.
This is me.
I just fucked myself up.
I'm so mad that my man hides behind. Dog. Look at him when he realizes, dang, I effed up.
Yeah,
Oops.
I bet you won't do sit-ups
They
under
can't
a weight
see
bench
you
no
back
more.
here.
He doesn't even
Man
attempt
almost
to
lost
help.
his life trying to get a workout in.
He doesn't even attempt to help at all. But you know what? Maybe you guys can help this person out. But although I think he's got it. You got it. Yeah, you good. You good.
Oh, what are you doing?
That's
You
me
thought he was
falling
gonna
off the
slide down that motherfucker
No, that's
like
me
a
falling off the
fool.
ladder.
It doesn't work that way.
You thought he was a spider monkey.
No, that was me in the job.
He laid on his face.
In the roof.
Will, that was you said?
Roof. Yeah, but it's in the roof.
Like a spider monkey.
He got it. He looked like he had it. Like,
I'm still trying to figure out what exactly was he trying to do, because if it's just to
he
climb
was
to the
trying
other
to slide
side,
down.
He was trying to slide
that
down
was
the
an
wood.
awful attempt.
Oh,
I'm telling
Whoa.
you. Yeah. I just beat what I said.
Pause.
But this is what he doing though. He trying to slide down the wood. Look at him.
I
Like,
can relate.
That never ends well for us.
yeah, like you
Damn,
would
I
think,
can
right? You would think.
Goodness gracious.
Oh shit, man.
That's nothing
slide down nothing there.
My man at Great Wolf Lodge fucking trying to slide down the wood.
Don't worry, we get that tomorrow.
Fuck, bro.
We get that tomorrow in the Tigers opening. Shoot.
Oh,
Be
man.
nice.
And
You know how many
finally,
fucked up people gonna be at there?
oh, they're gonna be messed up tomorrow, man.
Drunk.
Goodness gracious.
Pissy drunk.
And finally, I will end what's trending with this. Once again, I think still some people need some help at the gym. Let me know if this is the right, proper way to do this exercise, but I don't think it is.
The fuck is this?
Whoa. She definitely gets a TGT, but
Yeah, I mean, shit, it's the right way for me.
Hey,
Is this
man,
the right
that's a good
way to
sex
do
position.
exercise?
You know, that's
It might not be the practical way, but I ain't no arguments out of me.
No,
Ain't no arguments out of me.
I got ideas
the
about this.
dastardly KG.
Hey, she keeping that core strong, man. You gotta respect it.
How?
Man, yeah, man. That's a good position, you know what I mean?
That's a Chase kind of woman right there. Yeah,
The W position.
I just had to throw you in it.
the fact.
What is
My man
that
Chase
supposed
just
to
keeps
be?
saying what, but he ain't saying no.
She
And
get
the
ready
smile
for the
gets
76-9
bigger.
position.
I mean, hey.
Variety's the spice of life, man.
No, big facts.
No, it's creative.
If she
Like-
doing that on that, then
Like I said, I don't know if that's the
Just
right way to do that
saying.
exercise, but that's just me. That's
don't
it
get
for
her
what's
on the
trending, you
bed rail
guys.
now.
That's
Lord.
the idea. I was like, oh, bitch, she's magical. God damn.
Settle down, Will.
Hey, man.
What is going on over there?
Will. She know I got some tricks.
What is going on over there?
William, settle down.
I'm settled down. Shit, you got no idea what you got.
Remember, my boy Big Willie in there single, ladies. Hey, send y'all submissions into the chat, man. Will is taking all comers.
He's accepting all applications.
He even won an award. Would you like to show him your shirt?
Oh, man. I just won an award. I had this in 2011.
Here, back up
man.
and show him one more time.
Dude, I rode this in 2011 in Eastern Michigan. I pissed a lot of feminists off for no reason. I just go to class, mind my own business, talk about, it's inappropriate. I say, you do that on the weekend, so we get mad about that.
Just gonna put her business out there. Will chose violence.
This is
Of course, man.
Hey, hold on. While we here, I gotta put my man on blast, dog. Like, you wanted us to kidnap you for Friday. you wanted me and JB to orchestrate a kidnapping.
Yes, yes. I had to go to work and stuff like that. I was like, I got to figure out something. Around the corner, I say, hey, I had to text him, man, yo, stage me, get a plastic bag, wherever got a van, snatch me out.
Oh, he got the detail. You ain't texted the detail. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I would have blocked you if you texted the details, man. I ain't trying to get caught up like that.
No.
If something happens to you, I don't want it to come back on me. That's all.
I got this evidence on my phone.
Grab the OJ glove.
Yeah, like what? No, he literally texted to my phone, I need you and JB to come kidnap me on Friday. I'm just like, what?
Dude, I gotta get the excuse. I said, man, what happened to go to
You
work?
can't be implicating me in crime, sir.
Ah, damn, man, I ain't meant to do that, JB. I'm trying to figure out how to get in and do two things at once tomorrow. Shit, man. Y'all got in the booth in the opera house. I had to figure out how to get in. So I be in service. I got to go to work. I was like, God damn, how I gonna be in two things at once? I'm like, God, the shit is this? I got to figure out something.
Hey, I feel you.
But it ain't gonna work. So
next time you could just ask if we could pick you up instead of staging a cold kidnapping.
That's a thought.
You might have a secret way.
Right.
I don't know about that. Oh, that shit. You know what I mean? But
man.
try to figure out how to get in your to the Tigers party I got tomorrow, man. Shit, I'm being in.
I feel you. We gonna try. We gonna try to figure something out.
We gonna try something.
Super Juggernaut said the Woodward fam got your back. Will F work. They got you.
I understand that. I feel that heavily. Thank you.
Shout out to Will, dog.
We love Will, man. Will's the man.
You know, I know we have a few more friends to say what up, though, too, including the Grand Slam Festival Read. Chat family, we want to see you guys downtown tomorrow. So, Detroit, get ready. Tigers opening day is here on April 4th. Join Woodward Sports for the biggest and best party in the D, the Grand Slam Festival. Outdoor tent party going down at the Detroit Opera House. So we're right in the middle of the action, and we want to see you guys down there as well. The heavyweights will be on the loose. Shout out to our guy, Nick of the heavyweights. The tailgate always wins. I hold it down as a Tigers correspondent, and the coverage so far has been awesome. I look forward to everything he's going to bring to the docket as well as live broadcasts. You know, WUW Crew kicking it off downtown from the tent party, and then followed by Big the Energy, then E&E. They're going to definitely man the watch party. And the heavyweights, told you guys, letting them loose on the city. So you guys want to be down there. The drinks will be flowing, smoke clouds will rise, and the party won't stop. And
what about the food?
Huh?
What about the food?
Hey, you know what? There's going to be food down there as well. The food trucks are amazing. I'm so serious. Hey, you know how it is, man. You've been down there as well, Final Sam. The food trucks are amazing. Me personally, I'm trying to go down there, and every year I see it, the short rib grilled cheese sandwich.
Get it.
Oh, yeah.
Do
Fire.
it.
Yeah.
I'm getting that this year.
If you getting them burnt ass tenders, you got to go get that sandwich.
They got the tenner rack right
You know
there.
what? We're going to do some food content, man.
Almost definitely.
We're going to do some food content,
yeah.
Willie B. He always looks out at LCA, man. So, listen, everything is brought to you by Jars Cannabis, Mad Packs, and White Claw on the WSN broadcast. They're going to go all day long. Get your tickets at GrandSlamDetroit.com. Woodward Sports is opening day. Again, brought to you by Jars Cannabis, Mad Packs, and White Claw.
Damn, Super Joker.
Hey, you know what? We'll take a few mailbag questions. Shout out to Feldman Chevrolet of Novi. And let's get that Feldman back wall up there. One, Willie B. Shout out to Jars. We love Jars.
Absolutely. And do I need to say hello to Feldman?
You can if you want to. Hey, might as well.
Absolutely. Feldman Chevrolet of Novi, Detroit's #1 Chevrolet dealer and the Chevrolet Dealer of the Year for 6 consecutive years. They got deals of the month. You get a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew Cab for just $199 a month. You can also get a 2025 Chevy Equinox for only $249 a month. Come see George Hawes and his team at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi.
And I know with Feldman Chevrolet of Novi, man, they took care of you. They took care of you. When you needed them most, they came through and they saved you from watching, Juwan Howard have to coach Michigan basketball.
Hey, that's actually true.
Is he allowed back in the Fab Five, Sam?
No.
But shout out to Feldman, man. They've held it down for a couple people here at Woodward Sports, and I know Wifey and I were definitely looking for a new 3-row. They said that they're going to look out for us. So shout out to Feldman Chevrolet of Novi. We get into this Feldman mailbag. So put your questions or statements into the chat right now using hashtag Feldman mailbag. And BigCon51, I've seen him. He put this in the chat earlier. He says, how is Josiah Stewart so much better than Jack Sawyer?
I actually don't think he's so much better. I think that
he's a better pass rusher.
Oh, for sure. In terms of pass rushing upside, in terms of what we saw last season, their win rates, Jack Sawyer's was 18%. Josiah Stewart's was 28%. Jack Sawyer's was 18%. Jack Sawyer, though, he does have more size, I would say, and he's very good.
Yeah.
I just think that when you're ranking edge rushing prospects, they're pretty even. I just prefer Josiah Stewart because of I think he's a better pass rusher. But if you prefer Jack Sawyer, I'm not going to kill you for that. Although he seems to be falling.
Hey, what about you, KG?
No, I agree that, there are some advantages that Josiah Stewart has over Jack Sawyer. Jack Sawyer is the better overall prospect, but I do not like him as a potential pass rusher for this team. And we all know that's what the Lions actually need. We need speed around the edge and being able to get to that quarterback.
So, hey, King Tay, I see you in the chat.
Shout out.
I love this one. He says, hashtag Feldman Mailbag. I'm so fired up for opening day. I started a fake argument with my girl. Yep. She think we aren't going downtown, but she's actually going to be my +1 thanks to the WUW Crew. He was one of our winners yesterday to actually party with us downtown before the Tigers.
That's fantastic, but why are you making it so complicated? Just tell your girl that we're going downtown. Are you starting a fake argument so that she gets mad and then you're like, "Oh, I'm just kidding. Surprise." I don't think that that's the way to go, but you know what? You know your relationship better than I know your relationship. So if that's the way to variety's the spice of life, I guess.
Man, we might have to, if you guys get down there early enough, we might have to interview them. We might have to figure out how this went. Figure out this how it all went down. But
hey, Kool-Aid, real quick. Devin Silcock said, "Can someone give me Kool-Aid's email? I don't know if I have the right one."
I was just gonna say I got your email this morning. You're good, brother. Trust me, you're good. We got you on the list. JBSmooovv had your name, and we emailed that off the current names over the stick yesterday.
Yeah. So, also, Phil approves of your appearance, Sam.
Well, Phil's also talking wild in the chat,
He says that you have a Tom Brady jawline.
That's really weird considering what you said a couple before. But it's not that serious,
But is he wrong?
He do got a strong jawline. That jawline is strong. He was hiding that motherfucker under the beard.
I appreciate that, but Phil, you should actually get checked for schizophrenia. Like dead ass.
Yeah. Jordan from MI.
And you'll probably respond to that with "Wah!"
Hold on,
like
Sam,
you always do.
Sam look like handsome Squidward though.
I thought Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Handsome Squidward with the shave. He look like
it's like that Stefan energy, man.
Right.
It is, dog. Like I just want to see him like
flannel.
In an all-white suit.
It's not flannel, it's flannel.
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 A new personality. Hey, you know what? Jordan from MI. Hashtag Feldman Mailbag. What if we traded Amik and drafted a cornerback?
That's an odd thing to bring up at this point.
Yeah, I don't know if I would like that.
I don't think so.
Amik has been perfect, like for the position that he plays, and I wouldn't want to trade him in favor of a rookie. Like even depending on what type of rookie he is, I wouldn't want to do that.
Shout out to King Tay, man. I'm so grateful for the chat family and all the support that you guys give us. I see Devin Silcox. He says, "You guys are the best." And you know what? No, it's you guys. You guys literally are the best. It's what encourages us to get up and do this literally every day, Monday through Friday. And it's early start. And it's a lot of late nights. And it's a lot of research. And it's a lot of other things that go on behind the scenes. So I'm telling you guys, when we say that you guys are the most important part of this, I am not lying. So if you haven't gotten the opportunity to go on ahead and smash that like button for the WUW Crew, is that a show, fellas?
Absolutely, that is a show.
Hey, you know what? Let's get that chest pass going. We'll break this down. Hey, DJ Willie B.
Yes, indeed. Let's go right here.
Drop that shit.
That's butter. It's been Wake Up Woodward. And you know what? Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder and that dude Justin. What up, though, Kavasier Chase? Good mock draft today.
What up, though? Hope you guys are having a good one. Thursday, we got downtown tomorrow, so it should be a fun remote show. Should be a fun time. You know, obviously, I actually got to be there last time and watch the show live. You know, from like the fans' perspective, I can see a little bit more behind the scenes with you guys. So should be fun. Looking forward to it. Hopefully, the weather's a little nicer. I remember it was a little bit colder last year, although it did stay dry. So hopefully, at least stays dry for us. And then, hope you guys have a good one, like I said, and then tap into Fast and Loose with JBSmooovv tonight. If you guys want to get a little bit more JB in your life, say a little bit of NASCAR, a lot of laughs, a lot of fun.
Hey, with the camera right there. What up, though, KG? Detroit's #1 draft pick, aka Black Hollywood Rookie of the Year. The MVP is almost there as well. You joined the ranks of JBSmooovv. What up, though, brother?
Trying to, but I think we're gonna be good weather-wise. So it's supposed to be 51 and no rain until that night. So if the rain even comes, so we looking like we're gonna have a good day at the park, man. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Absolutely appreciate y'all tapping in with us. Shout out to my team. Love y'all. Willie, we not kidnapping you. And yeah, let's let's keep this shit rolling. Come rock with us at opening day tomorrow, man. Best party in Detroit, period, man.
Shout out to Crazy Clown. Said, great show, Greg. 2025 says, thanks for the show, fellas. Tell you guys, thank you so much. And I see that dude, Justin. He says, I'm so hyped.
He is
for
ready
tomorrow.
for us to record in just a couple of minutes.
Hey, shout out to this elite booth as well.
10-10.
Will be in the sound booth.
Yo, what's happening right here? I try to figure out how to get to their party. That's what I try to say. That's only my critical thing.
He's desperate. You got some support in the chat. They try to help you out.
Oh, I appreciate that. You know, I had to get 2 or 3. I got 2 or 3 jobs, so it ended up. If you see me out of nowhere jumping in y'all booth on live with my work uniform, probably was my last day in that place. So it's what it is. I'm just joking. But anyways, man,
risk it all.
I'll be there. I'm gonna try. I gotta go. I ain't gonna tell you later. But anyways, hope everybody have a good day and hope y'all enjoy yourself. And if I wasn't there, out there in spirit, y'all have a good time over there tomorrow on the opening day.
Shout out Willie.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Willie.
Woodward Sports MVP in the TV booth. JBSmooovv. What up, though, brother?
Hey, what's going on, chat family?
Just
Shout out to rocking with us. What'd you say?
You're just a habitual cooker.
I guess so. I don't know. I just do what I can. But shout out to everyone rocking with us today. Tomorrow is going to be fun. I can't wait to meet all you guys when you show up. Willie, we're going to try to look out for you, man. We're not going to kidnap you, but we're going to try to look out for you. Woodward ringside. Me and KG will be recording once again. I think we're going live on Saturday, so be on the lookout for that. Me and Chase, Fast and Loose episode. He just dropped the link in the chat as well too. And since Justin's in the chat, hey, I seen this, my guy. Happy birthday to Justin, and today is his birthday, man.
Hey,
so big shout out to him. Can't wait to see everyone at the opening day party tomorrow.
Shout out to that dude, Justin, man. Happy birthday, man. I'm proud of Justin, the way that he holds it down and still doing what he's doing with school and Woodward Wings, which is on the way. Hey, shout out to our Red Wings correspondent, All Sports Noah, vet of the squad and network. That is Flannel Sam and a sweater.
Hey,
Flannel.
Absolutely.
Right.
Go Tigers tomorrow. Tap into Woodward Wings. Drops on Saturday.
Give me a little.
Okay.
There we go.
Flannel like, hurry the fuck up.
Flannel like, let's get out of here.
Rising up, back on the street. Did my time, took my chances.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah,